All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the Chicago Bears. Yet another victory. They are now 5-8, taking down divisional rivals in the Detroit Lions. All I'm seeing, all I'm hearing this afternoon is how the Lions are currently on fraud watch. Nobody's respecting Justin Fields and what he has been able to do the last couple of weeks. And also, the Chicago Bears, they still have a chance to make the playoffs, folks. But Justin Fields yesterday became the second fastest quarterback in NFL history to reach 2,000 rushing yards and 5,000 passing yards in his career. In his last 5 full games, over 1,200 total passing yards, 10 total passing touchdowns, 305 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. And he also has a passer rating of 107.7. Now, I know he's not perfect. He's still got flaws like every other player in every other sports league out there. But most importantly to me, he's not making mistakes. All I want to see in the last month of the season from Justin Fields specifically is consistency. And recently, he has not been turning the ball over. He has not been throwing silly interceptions. And the Chicago Bears are winning football games. So, everybody's talking, is Justin Fields going to be the guy of this upcoming season? Or are they going to take a quarterback pick number 1? Are they going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and just fire Luke Getsy, draft some offensive linemen? We have to keep in mind also in Justin Fields' tenure so far with the Chicago Bears, they've been a horrible offensive line. And when he was healthy earlier on in the season, their offensive line was completely injured. All right. So on paper, with the eye test, Darnell Wright's also done a phenomenal job. We'll talk about all that stuff in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content, along with a couple of Bears videos every single week. Bears fans, if you try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So things are just coming together. Justin yesterday afternoon against the Detroit Lions, 19 of 33, 223 yards, 1 touchdown, most importantly, 0 interceptions, 12 rush attempts, 58 total yards and a touchdown, averaged about 5 yards per carry. But this defense has been completely night and day since the start of the season. Guys like Sweat have made monumental impacts, not only clearly on the field. The dude's just a sack monster. He's just getting quarterback pressures. He's hitting the QB, which is also helping everybody else out there, especially the 2 rookies, Javon Dexter, Zach Pickens, 2 very young, intriguing rookies on this defensive line as well. But Dr. Eberflus has gotten this defense back on track, and it just kind of reminds us all to be patient. We still have 4 games left of the season, and I would not be surprised actually if the Chicago Bears were to win out. Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns on the road this upcoming Sunday, they do look good. I think the Chicago Bears will win 8 football games at least this season. You've got Arizona, you've got Atlanta, and then you've got the Green Bay Packers to finish off the season. Eberflus, to me, in the last couple of weeks, not even just, the defensive product, obviously, 13 points to a top 5 offense in the Detroit Lions yesterday before the bye week, only 10 points given up to the Minnesota Vikings. But he's got this locker room back. I don't know if the locker room necessarily was ever gone, but the defense with some of these additions, these veteran additions, some of these young players, guys like Jalen Johnson just continuing to ball out. I think for me, I'll speak for myself here, I think Dr. Eberflus certainly has my approval for at least another season. Just go out there and get an offensive-minded playmaker or play caller, rather. Keep Justin Fields, continue to surround him with weapons. Guys, there's so many weapons in that running back room. DJ Moore's a wide receiver 1. I mean, you could still trade back and select Marvin Harrison Jr. and also get, some future first-round picks or some later draft picks. So Ryan Poles is in an interesting situation right now, and I'm not trying to rush my decision on Justin Fields and when I say that, keep in mind, the dude is so talented. I mean, Justin Fields is a phenomenal athlete. He makes great plays. Yes, he makes silly mistakes sometimes like a lot of young quarterbacks do in the league. But when we bring into context here, that offensive line, no weapons before DJ Moore, just Luke Getsy being the play caller in general, Ryan Poles is in an interesting situation, and I know he's not rushing it either because everybody on this locker room, everybody on this roster, in fact, most fans fully believe and fully support Justin Fields. And you see it on the sidelines, you see it during the games, you see it in practices, you see it on social media. These guys love Justin Fields and they completely believe and support in him. And that goes a very long way. So let's talk a little bit about yesterday's game against the Detroit Lions. They forced 3 turnovers. Once again, The Detroit Lions heading into this game, I know everybody's calling them frauds right now. The Detroit Lions are not frauds. Teams have bad weeks, but give some respect to that defense. They completely controlled that football game. Time of possession, 33 to Detroit's 26. 336 total yards of offense. They only allowed Detroit 267 yards. Jared Goff had an abysmal day against this Bears defense. Guys were out there making plays. Jalen Johnson, Tremaine Edwards with just some phenomenal plays, interceptions, 3 turnovers. And that's a great sign there. And then we're going to talk about my man, Jaquan Brisker. When Jaquan first came into the league, I said this dude was a future Hall of Famer. I know we're jumping the gun here. This guy's a safety. He had the forced fumble yesterday. 17 total sacks or tackles for a safety is absolutely unreal. It's unheard of. So there's players littered across this defense. You know, everybody was making fun of the Sweat edition, not necessarily the Sweat edition itself, but more so what they gave up, the second round draft pick, especially when we compare it to Chase Claypool's trade last season. I mean, having a guy like Sweat, I think people act like this dude is like 32 years old and he wants all this money. The guy's a playmaker. The guy's a stud. And most importantly, he's elevating his fellow teammates. But when we take a look even on paper, man, Jaquan Brisker, I got Edmonds, I got Edwards, I got my rookie Tyreek Stevenson, I got Sweat now. I got just a bunch of studs on this defensive side. And you're starting to see it all come together for this Bears defense led by Dr. Eberflus. So the last 4 games are going to tell me a lot. You know, like I said, I really think Justin Fields is my guy for next season. I don't think that they should look in a different route. I would just draft Marvin Harrison Jr., whether you got to trade down, whether you got to take him at number 1. And most importantly, I'd continue to get this dude some help on the offensive line. We take a look at a guy like Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright against the Lions, 40 pass blocking snaps, 0 sacks allowed, and 1 quarterback hit allowed. This guy's a rookie. So continue to build up that offensive line, continue to build up your weapons on the offensive front, and let Justin Fields do his thing. It was so clear, as clear as day when the season originally started, that Luke Getsy literally wanted this dude to just be Aaron Rodgers. And Justin Fields is not Aaron Rodgers. Lean into your instincts, do what you do best, and that's exactly what we've seen in the last couple of weeks, regardless of, you know, they could win 2 games, they could win 3 games, they could win out, regardless of how this season ends, regardless if Justin Fields is my quarterback for next season. Just end this year with some momentum, all right? Forget about that draft pick, because you have Carolina's draft pick, which clearly is going to be number 1, and they've got options. This team's going to have options, but end on a high note like you have in these last couple of weeks. But this upcoming game against a phenomenal defense in the Cleveland Browns, it's going to tell us even more about Justin Fields, Luke Getsy, and this team in general. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. But most importantly, let me know down below in the comment section, is Eberflus your coach next season? And is Justin Fields your QB next season at this current point? Peace.